Alicia, what can you tell us?
Well, Marla, Bailey Banks and Biddles is on the lower level of the mall, as you said, on the north side. And this robbery took place just after the mall opened, so there were not a lot of people around when it happened. We have some video of the scene shortly after the robbery took place. Police are still in the very early stages of their investigation. They're just now dusting for fingerprints and asking employees exactly what happened. There were just a few employees in the store at the time, but they know this. 5 men walked into the store. They were wearing baseball caps and blue or gray ski masks. They showed employees guns, so they were armed at the time, and they left with an undetermined amount of jewelry. Police are looking at a possible link between this robbery and the I-5 gang. That's a gang of jewelry robbers that works out of the LA area. There are some similarities between this robbery and this gang that operates out of LA. The ski mask is one possible link. The number of people that committed the robbery is another possible link. The I-5 gang seems to work in gangs of 5. And the I-5 gang is known to steal a car, commit a robbery, and then escape in the stolen car and ditch it later on. Police have found a car that they suspect was used in this morning's robbery. Of course, Marla, this happened just a little over an hour ago, and they're still trying to gather information and sort things out. We'll have more for you later on today.
It didn't look like the jewelry cases had been smashed. Were they intact?
As far as I could see, yes, Marla, it didn't look like the store sustained any type of damage, but police have not told us what the robbers may have made off with.
Okay, thank you very much.
Fingerprints may be among the few clues left behind by a fast-moving gang of robbers. Just 15 minutes after the Valley Fair Mall opened this morning, 4 men wearing masks, 2 of them with guns drawn, walked into the Bailey Banks and Biddle jewelry store at Valley Fair. They ordered employees to open jewelry cases, then grabbed expensive jewelry and took off. The 5 robbers had a pretty easy escape. They just ran across the hall and straight out a side door. They were out before anybody even knew what happened. An employee at a jewelry hut just 10 feet away from the action says she hardly noticed the commotion.
Yesterday we had some juveniles in the mall, and they should have been in school, and I knew about that, so I was more... The thought behind it was that the kids were running from security guards, that they should have been in school.
News of the theft left workers in nearby stores shaken.
Which was pretty scary, you know, actually right across the way there. But, I didn't see anything. I didn't, see them run out or anything.
Police say they have very few leads right now. It's not clear if it's the work of the notorious I-5 gang, a group of robbers known for hitting stores near freeways. In San Jose, Alicia Mandigo, KNTV News, First Edition.
Alicia.
Well, Doug, I'm just outside the main gate at Fort Ord, and soldiers here have been paying close attention to what President Clinton is doing with the ban on gays in the military. Support here for lifting the ban is mixed. Soldiers stand shoulder to shoulder at a local lunch counter. They spend most of their time being this close to each other. That's why so many soldiers are against lifting the ban on gays in the military. They say if the guy next to them is gay, they don't want to know about it.
Them working right next to us, and you always want to glance over at them, make sure they ain't trying anything on you or anything.
Specialist John Gephardt says there's a lot of anger and tension over the issue, and though he's against lifting the ban, he says President Clinton's handling it well.
I think he's got some good ideas and things like that as far as it goes. He's doing it right, waiting 6 months and everything like that.
Several soldiers told us working with a known homosexual would make them so uncomfortable they wouldn't be able to do their jobs. But others feel that attitude is unfair.
I think so. They're being very unfair. Everyone should get a chance.
Lifting the ban may go against military tradition, but it's a tradition some soldiers say they don't care about.
Let them come in. That's what I feel. I mean, everybody's human, so I feel like if they want to come in the Army, let them come.
Even with all the discussion and debate there's been, this is still a very touchy issue, and a lot of soldiers we met today simply did not want to talk about it. Stacy and Doug, the people here know the change is coming, but for the most part, it's a change they say they're just not ready for.
Alicia, did anyone there say that they would get out of the military because of this?
No, nobody I talked to said they would leave the military because of it. The people that I talked to who are against having the ban lifted said it would interfere with their own job performance because they would feel so uncomfortable and so intimidated. But nobody talked about leaving the military.
Okay, thank you.
Alicia.
Well, Well, Maggie, I'm in a downtown neighborhood on 7th Street, and I'm sure you can see the movie trucks are lined all the way down the street here. They're filming a made-for-television movie starring Barbara Eden. She plays a psychologist who starts having some strange telepathic episodes involving some members of her family who are in trouble. It's kind of a drama thriller. And the movie company here has hired local people to work on the crew. They're staying in local hotels, eating in local restaurants, and they figure they've brought about $1 million worth of business into the city. So it's good for the city, but not everyone has welcomed the film crew. With the roads closed and trucks parked everywhere, Frank Vasquez says having a film crew in the neighborhood is a pain in the neck. He says it interferes with the business he runs out of his home, and he says he was never told all this was going to happen.
We have certain rights, which I know we do, civil rights, and the city mayor and the city councilman and the police know about this. Then all we need is their help so we can live here and enjoy our land.
Vasquez says having the movie crew across the street from him has been very inconvenient. He says he at least should have been given some notice, but other neighbors say catching a glimpse of Barbara Eden was all the notice they needed.
I see the movie, but this is when I see the technicians and Barbara Eden and James Browning, and since her dressing room right in front of the house, well, you know, we got her autograph.
The producers say for the most part the neighbors seem happy to have them here, but they also realize they're a big presence.
It's like an invasion when a film crew of 15 trucks and 60 people comes to a neighborhood. We try to be good neighbors.
Producers say they've done their best to avoid interfering with the day-to-day activities of the neighborhood. The streets of this neighborhood have been closed not because the movie crew wanted them closed, but because the city thought it was a good idea. For some, this may be an inconvenience, but others here say with the streets closed, this is the quietest things have ever been. The family living right next door to the filming says the filming's been nothing but fun.
We haven't had any problem with parking or anything. In fact, I just drove in right now and it wasn't a problem.
Now, the neighbors here that don't like having the film crew around complain that they've had their driveways blocked. They say if they'd received a little notice, they might have been able to make some kind of arrangements. But the producers told me that they went up and down the road here and notified the people that they thought would be most affected by their presence. And they are paying for everything on their own. They had to get city permits, which are paid for. The police officers who have helped control traffic are being paid for by the film crew. So, Doug and Maggie, they have tried to have as positive an impact on the city as possible.
Okay, thank you.